superstar. Y'all look ready for his album, you know what I mean?
Dude, them was outside the club, on the street, dancing for this in a truck.
These girls I'm looking at in Atlanta, this ain't nothing like what I'm seeing at school. These is grown with, like, I'm seeing it at 12, 11. You know what I mean? Like, this is what's around. So, you know, I became a product of my environment.
No, you sound crazy. I sound for real than the songs need to be taken from you.
Like, I'm some child. You can't take my record.
You act like a child.
You gotta get your life in order and figure out what it is you want.
Did D. Brat see everything that Jermaine Dupri did to Bow Wow? If she did, why did she back him up so strongly when Bow Wow called him out? One thing you can always count on with D. Brat is her loyalty to Jermaine. She's incredibly loyal, no doubt about it. But was she really in a position to do anything else? And now, with Bow Wow dropping receipts, it makes us all wonder, is there more to this story than we ever knew? What's the real truth behind it all? Girls, let me tell you, what I saw in Atlanta was nothing like what I saw at school. These women, they were grown, and I was just a kid seeing things I shouldn't be at 11 or 12 years old. It was a whole new world around me, and that's when I started to become a product of my environment. Jermaine Dupri, he's a legend in the game, the mastermind behind some of the biggest names in hip-hop. But there's a darker side to it all, and it's tied to Bow Wow's rise to fame. But here's the real question: what happens when the people closest to him, his friends, his mentors, the ones who were supposed to guide him, become part of the story in ways we never expected? What's really going on behind the scenes? So here's the question: how did D. Brat go from defending Jermaine Dupri to calling Bow Wow disrespectful for exposing him? One thing we know for sure is that D.A. Brat is super loyal to Jermaine. Her loyalty to him is unquestionable. But even she called me out in public. So the real question is Jermaine Dupri really the music mogul we've all been told about, or is there something darker going on? Let's dive into the drama that unfolded in 2022 when Bow Wow exposed Jermaine Dupri over how their music was created. What was really behind all of that? You won't believe the receipts Bow Wow dropped on 106 Park and how D. Brat tried to shut it all down. But trust me, there's so much more to this story. What really happened behind the scenes at So So Def, and why did D. Brat stay so loyal to Jermaine Dupri for so long? Let's dive into it. Back in the 90s, Jermaine Dupri was a big deal in the music world. He created Criss Cross and later discovered Bow Wow, turning him into a rap prodigy at just 6 years old. But let's be real, Jermaine Dupri's career hasn't exactly been without its drama. What's really going on behind the scenes? Jermaine Dupri's reputation has followed him for years. Even with all his success, there's always been talk of shady business moves and questionable actions surrounding him. And let's be real, Cat Williams wasn't the first to speak out. People close to Dupri, like the members of Criss Cross, have hinted that he wasn't as innocent as he made himself out to be. Recently, a video resurfaced where Cat Williams made some shocking claims, saying that both Diddy and Jermaine Dupri were involved in targeting young male artists, including Bow Wow. So what's really been going on behind the scenes all these years? The whole Criss Cross situation has been surrounded by rumors for years. People have wondered if Jermaine Dupri was involved in any way, or if he let others like Diddy take advantage of them. At one point, Jermaine fired back at a fan on a now-deleted Instagram post when they mentioned a lawsuit from 17 years ago. His response? Yeah, 17 years ago you were talking about Criss Cross. They even had a lawsuit which they won, but it was kept quiet. The lawsuit that Criss Cross reportedly won was never made public. So what's really going on here? Could there be more to the story than we know? Jermaine Dupri didn't hold back when he responded to the rumor, saying, "You must be out of your mind. I should sue you for writing this disrespectful stuff on my page. Get out of here." Even though there's no solid proof, the rumor has stuck around for years. But it didn't stop there. Cat Williams made things worse by calling Jermaine a derogatory name in a 2011 video. In the same video, Cat took shots at Diddy, Jermaine, and Steve Harvey, even calling Jermaine the King of Peace. Cat also said, "What's happening, Puff? I'll be back to you if JDA had the drama just keeps building." What's really going on behind the scenes? Jermaine Dupri, the king of the peas. At first, people thought Cat Williams was just acting a little wild, maybe even high, so they didn't really take his accusations seriously. But here's the thing, despite being publicly called out, none of the celebrities involved, including Jermaine, ever said anything or sued Cat for slander. That left a lot of people wondering, could Cat Williams have actually been telling the truth? Now let's rewind to where it all started. Bow Wow, whose real name is Shad Moss, was just 6 years old when Snoop Dogg discovered him at a concert. Snoop was blown away by his talent and gave him the nickname Lil Bow Wow. That moment marked the beginning of Bow Wow's rise to fame. Crazy, right? Snoop Dogg may have introduced Bow Wow to the hip-hop world, but it wasn't until he met Jermaine Dupri at just 11 years old that his life really changed. Jermaine, already a big name in the industry with his work with Chris Cross and D.A. Brat, saw something special in Bow Wow. He signed him to his So Def label and put together his debut album, Beware of Dog. The album took off in a big way with hits like Bounce With Me topping the charts. Bow Wow was suddenly everywhere, becoming a star almost overnight. Crazy how quickly things can change, right? Household name almost overnight, but behind the scenes the story wasn't so innocent. Under Dupri's mentorship, Bow Wow wasn't just learning how to rap, he was also being exposed to a lifestyle far beyond his years. Dupri himself has admitted to taking a 12-year-old Bull to a strip club in one infamous story. Dupri says he left Bo sitting in the car while he partied inside, but when he returned, were surrounding Bo outside the club dancing for him on the street. Dud was outside the club on the street. The women were dancing for him outside the club, and it wasn't long before Bow Wow opened up about how this early exposure to adult situations had a lasting effect on his relationships and mental health. He even blamed Jermaine Dupri for his addiction to women. But things get even more interesting. In 2022, Dupri appeared on The God Show, hosted by Ray Daniels, and shared how 106 Park came to be. During the interview, Dupri explained that while watching MTV's Total Request Live, an idea hit him like a light bulb. That moment led to the creation of 106 Park, and Dupri credits it as the spark that set the show in motion. So there you have it, one moment of inspiration that helped shape a piece of TV history. Jermaine Dupri didn't hold back when it came to taking credit for 106 Park. He made it clear that he pushed Bet to make the show happen, saying, "I created the show for Bow Wow." Dupri was inspired by TRL on MTV, which was all about pop groups like NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys. He noticed that they weren't giving enough attention to urban artists, so he had an idea. Dupri wanted to create a similar show, but one that would give rap artists the spotlight they deserved. He went on to say they weren't going to put Bow Wow on TRL like that because he was a rapper. It's wild to think about how one man's vision helped change the game for urban artists on TV. Bow Wow, just a 12-year-old kid, was making waves in the music world, but there was no one else on TV at that age causing that kind of attention. Jermaine Dupri saw what was happening and knew it was time to make a change. He went straight to Stephen Hill and said, "We need a show on Bet to highlight black artists like this." But when Bow Wow heard about what Dupri said, he didn't hold back. He took to Twitter and called Dupri a liar, saying JDD didn't create 106 Park. Stop the cap, Stephen Hill. Bow Wow had his own version of how the show came to be, and it was clear he wasn't buying what Dupri was selling. So what's the real story behind 106 Park? We may never know, but Bow Wow sure wasn't afraid to speak up. Bow Wow fired back, saying that Rick Grams and the Bet team were the ones who really created 106 Park, and all he did was build on what they started. He proudly tweeted, "I'm Mr. 106, and I would never take credit for someone else's work." But his tweet didn't sit well with D.A. Brat, his former So Def label mate. She wasn't having it and quickly posted on Instagram calling Bow Wow out for disrespecting Jermaine Dupri. Her message was clear: "You really on some bullshit tea right now." It was obvious D.A. Brat wasn't going to stay silent while Bow Wow downplayed her mentor's role. The tension between them was heating up, and fans were watching it all unfold. So what's the real story? The back and forth between these two shows just how deep the loyalty runs in this industry. I've got all the receipts and I know the whole story. A lot of people don't, but respect the legend, respect the cultural icon, the person who helped make your career what it is, D.A. Brat said, clearly upset. "I'm asking you to stop now. I can't stay silent about this anymore. I'm sorry." Her loyalty to Jermaine Dupri runs much deeper than just business. Back in 1992, when she was only 18, she signed with So Def Records, just as Jermaine was starting to build his music empire. This wasn't just a job for D.A. Brat, it was a relationship built on trust, respect, and years of support. D.A. Brat's journey with Jermaine Dupri started back in 1992 when she was just 18. She was one of the first major artists to sign with his label, So Def, and quickly became a key part of its early success. Their bond went beyond business. It was built on mutual respect and shared victories. But everything got complicated in 2022 when Bow Wow, Dupri's biggest star, publicly clashed with him. That's when D.A. Brat's loyalty to Jermaine really stood out. She defended him fiercely, even though Bow Wow, who had once been like a little brother to her, seemed to be questioning everything he had helped him build. So the big question is, why did Brat choose to stick by him, especially when it seemed like Bow Wow was turning his back on the man who made him a star? Let's break it down. To really understand why D.A. Brat is so loyal to Jermaine Dupri, we have to take a look at their history. Jermaine didn't just mentor her, he completely shaped her career. Back when D.A. Brat first signed with So Def, she was a talented rapper but not widely known. Dupri saw something in her, something special, and pushed her into the spotlight. Because of him, she became one of the most successful female rappers of the 1990s. The bond they formed during those years went beyond just business. It was built on trust, success, and mutual respect. That's why even years later, D.A. Brat has always had Dupri's back, no matter what. Their collaboration was a turning point in hip-hop. Da Brat made history by becoming the first female rapper to go platinum with her debut album, a milestone that secured her place in the genre's history. Jermaine Dupri's talent for spotting and developing artists wasn't just luck, it was a skill that made him a true legend. Da Brat was one of the first to thrive because of his genius. For her, defending Dupri was more than just sticking by a business partner. It was about honoring the man who gave her the opportunity to launch her career and helped her rise to the top of the industry. Dupri wasn't just a producer or label head, he was like a mentor to Da Brat. In an industry where women, especially in rap, had to fight hard to be seen, he gave her a chance and helped her rise. So when Bow Wow, who Dupri discovered at just 6 years old, publicly disputed Dupri's claim of creating 106 Park, Da Brat couldn't stay quiet. To her, it felt like Bow Wow was turning his back on someone who helped him so much. Da Brat is incredibly loyal to Jermaine Dupri, and this was her way of showing just how much he means to her. She wasn't going to let that loyalty be ignored. When it comes to Da Brat, you can't question her loyalty to Jermaine Dupri. She's always had his back. Dupri didn't just discover Bow Wow, he played a huge part in shaping his career, helping him transition from a child star to an adult artist. Da Brat, who was there when Bow Wow was rising, saw up close how Dupri helped guide him. So when Bow Wow publicly questioned Dupri's role in creating 106 Park, it felt like a slap in the face to everything Dupri did for him. It's more than just a business relationship, it's about the respect and support Dupri gave to Bow Wow. And for Da Brat, this kind of public dispute wasn't just personal, it was a blow to the culture they helped build together. Jermaine Dupri didn't just build a music label, he created a family. The bond he had with his artists wasn't just professional, it was deeply personal. Everyone looked out for each other like a tight-knit group. So when Bow Wow called out Dupri, it didn't feel like just a disagreement, it felt like a betrayal to the whole crew. Nobody was going to let that slide easily. But here's the bigger question, was this loyalty just about personal feelings, or was there something else, something deeper holding everyone together? Could there be an untold story that explains it all? Dote has been through the ups and downs of the industry, so it's safe to say she knows more about Jermaine Dupri's ways and maybe even his personal life than she's letting on. Her loyalty to him might not just be about defending him, it could also be about protecting her own image. After all, she was a big part of their success, and when you've worked that closely with someone for so long, it's hard to just walk away even when things aren't perfect. But Bow Wow sees things differently. His perspective is more about. Bow Wow spent most of his life in Jermaine Dupri's shadow, but as he grew older and more independent, his view of their relationship started to change. Me and Jermaine have always had a competitive thing, he once admitted, hinting at the tension that had been there all along. Bow Wow's story is one of big successes, tough struggles, and constant reinvention. From being a 6-year-old rap prodigy discovered by Snoop Dogg to dealing with the ups and downs of fame, he's been through it all. And it all began in his hometown of Columbus, Ohio. Bow Wow fell in love with hip-hop when he was just 3 years old, rapping along to songs he heard on the radio. His talent was hard to miss, and by 6, he was already stealing the show at local talent contests under the nickname Kid Gangsta. But his big break came in 1993. While attending a Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg Chronic Tour concert, Bow Wow got the chance of a lifetime to perform on stage. He didn't just impress the crowd, he caught the attention of Snoop Dogg himself. Snoop saw his potential and decided to mentor him, setting Bow Wow on the path to stardom. When Snoop Dogg gave him the nickname Lil Bow Wow, it was more than just a cool title, it was a stamp of approval that opened so many doors for him. Bow Wow even got a chance to rap on Snoop's debut album, Doggy Style, on the track Jays and Hustlers. While Snoop helped kickstart Bow Wow's career, it was Jermaine Dupri, the genius behind So Def Records, who turned him into a superstar. In 1998, Bow Wow's mom took him to a concert, and that's where he caught the eye of Dupri. By then, Dupri had already helped big artists like Criss Cross, Da Brat, and Xscape find success. He saw something special in Bow Wow and knew he could help him take his career to the next level. Jermaine Dupri saw something special in Bow Wow and helped him become a teen rap sensation. Together, they created Bow Wow's debut album, Beware of Dog, which dropped in 2000 when he was only 13 years old. The album took off, going double platinum with hit songs like Bounce With Me and Bow Wow, That's My Name. With his high energy, catchy hooks, and lyrics that were perfect for his age, Bow Wow quickly became the face of a new generation of hip-hop. He was everywhere on TV and magazines and even as an action figure. Bow Wow quickly became a fan favorite because of his playful charm, and his youthful vibe made him super relatable to younger audiences. But he didn't just stick to music. In 2002, he made his acting debut in the fun basketball comedy Like Mike, playing a young orphan who finds a magical pair of sneakers. The film was a huge hit and helped solidify Bow Wow as more than just a rapper. He was now a multi-talented star. Over the next few years, Bow Wow balanced both his music and acting careers. He dropped more successful albums like Doggy Bag and Unleashed and starred in movies like Roll Bounce. As Bow Wow got older, he dropped the Lil from his name, signaling a new chapter in his career. But moving from being a child star to an adult artist wasn't as smooth as he'd hoped. The music industry was changing fast, and Bow Wow found it hard to keep up with the success he had as a teenager. Even though he still released popular singles like Let Me Hold You with Omarion and Shorty Like Mine with Chris Brown, staying at the top of the game became a challenge. Behind the scenes, Bow Wow was facing. In 2010, Bow Wow surprised his fans when he opened up about battling depression and even thinking about suicide. "I was in a dark place," he admitted. "It was right around when I was working on my third album that I really hit rock bottom. I was just done." He shared that his friends would try to get him out of the house, but his response was always the same: "I've done it all." The constant pressure of growing up in the spotlight with everyone watching had taken a huge toll on him. The ups and downs of Bow Wow's career really took a toll on his mental health. In 2018, he hinted at an album called Atticus Aside spelled backward, which reflected the tough emotional challenges he went through as he tried to adjust to life after fame. Although the album was never released, it showed how hard it was for him to find his place after the spotlight dimmed. As his music career slowed down, Bow Wow decided to focus on television. In 2017, he created and starred in Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta, a reality show that followed the lives of celebrity kids, including Bow Wow, trying to balance their fame with real life. Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta became a big hit, running for several seasons and giving fans a closer look at Bow Wow's life. But with that fame came more attention to his personal relationships, which often got messy and dramatic. One of the biggest headlines came in 2019 when Bow Wow and his girlfriend were involved in a physical altercation. Police were called, and both of them had visible injuries. Because the officers couldn't figure out who started the fight, things only got more complicated from there. After the incident, Bow Wow and his girlfriend were both arrested. Photos of Bow Wow with scratches on his face quickly went viral, leading to memes and endless rumors about what really happened. Despite all the drama, Bow Wow made a big comeback to acting in 2021 when he returned to the Fast Furious franchise as Twinkie in Fast Furious 9. Fans were excited to see him back on the big screen, and his role reminded everyone of his acting skills. Later on, Bow Wow admitted that if he could go back in time, he would have focused more on acting rather than music. "If I could do it all over again, I would have just been an actor and never touched music," Bow Wow said recently. Over the past few years, he's been open about his frustrations with the music industry. He's mentioned multiple times that he's no longer enjoying rapping and prefers focusing on hosting, acting, and producing instead. "This is why I don't want to rap anymore," he explained. "Rap brings too much stress, and I don't need that in my life." Still, despite his frustration, Bow Wow surprised fans in 2023 when he announced he plans to release one final album under the Death Row label. So, where does all this leave us? Are we seeing the end of Jermaine Dupri's time as the top mogul, or is this just a small bump in the road? And what's next for Bow Wow and Dote? Will their friendship survive this fallout, or is this the start of a bigger feud? Only time will tell. That's it for today's video, folks. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.